It's tea time with MahMah Tea. Hey baby, it's Shop Bliss, back with another one. I decided to drop the age filter today and come through as me, so you can see me and MahMah Tea is really one in the same. I found a way to hack into my elder self to bring you an ancient past in this present day. Some say it's genius, some say it's luck. Whatever it is, it was destined. And I'm following my path that was laid before me, no matter how scary it may seem to be. Because when you travel upon a road that you've never been before, it can be a little intimidating. You don't know what you're going to meet along the way. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the lessons you learn. How else are we going to evolve unless we embark upon paths and journeys we've never traveled? So this is my path. This is my journey. This is my story. And I'm so happy that many of you have been following me for the past 2 years, witnessing it. Some of you were waiting for me to fall and drop off, said I'm a gimmick, I'm for all kind of shit. But you know what? I know how to turn off the noise and walk with the voice within. I've never looked at myself as someone who was popular, someone who has authority over anything. I just know what I'm passionate about. I'm very unwavering in it. Now, I started this journey with the Great Mother back in 98, 99. I was having my first Saturn return. In a couple of years, I'll be having my second Saturn return. I'm watching things come full circle, observing, listening. Baby, I'm a Cancer woman. And many of us are underestimated because they think we're so emotional or we're vulnerable. We may let down our guard and show our vulnerabilities to let you know that we real people. We go through real shit, just like everybody else. But when you take our kindness for weakness and you think you get to know us better than we know ourselves, and then you think you can begin to mother us, well, that's why they call us the crab, I guess. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now that we are at the 29th degree, 59th second, as Saturn about to leave out of Pisces and cross and put his toe in Aries for the next 3 months, we get a chance to see what we can recreate for ourselves. I'm not a fearmonger. And I'm not going to give nobody no ultimatums or no choices. That's what patriarchs do. I tried to detox that energy out of me decades ago. So all this to say, many of us still have to walk and work through these shadows, these dark wounds, these hidden suppressed energies that we carry. Saturn is going to give you a glimpse of what your fresh start can look like. I no longer say the word reset, global reset. That is a program that the powers that be want you to reset back into their game so they can start their cycle all over again. But you have the opportunity to change your cycle. And if somebody gives you a choice, choosing this cycle or that cycle, put your middle finger up to both of them and choose your own cycle. If we are going into the age of Aquarius, that represents individuality. You being your unique self. And that energy is what you bring to the collective. It's not going back into a hierarchy or where one is at the top and the rest of you at the bottom. So the ones at the top can feed off the ones at the bottom. And if something goes wrong with the one at the top, everybody at the bottom pointing at the one at the top. You see the shit? No, baby. You now have to take accountability and responsibility for you. We do live in the realm of free choice. The question is, who's giving you the choices? Or are you creating your own? Dropped the video yesterday, Betrayal of Women. It was a series, part 1 and part 2, where I utilize AI, tapping into it. And let's get to the bottom of the core of the wounds that women carry, especially melanated women. I have not changed my story. I've been saying, listen, I'm here for the black woman. Ain't nobody ascending, going 5D nowhere until she wake up. I'm still with that shit. Because how you gonna leave up out of a realm that she created? How you gonna keep her in a state of amnesia? And you just gonna leap up out of here while she stays a bottom feeder for the rest of you to feed off of. You really think that's how this work? Everybody is sending. Everybody got the answer. But not one time have they mentioned the daughters of the Great Mother. Ain't none of y'all even mentioned the Great Mother. Y'all ain't start saying nothing about mother until recently. It's been always about your father. Your father this, and won't he do it? And your father that. Never have I once heard some of you who's talking about the mother now, which is wonderful, ever mention anything about the divine feminine archetype of this realm. So when we crack open these doors and we open it up and we walk through it, we have to uncover all truths, deep, dark, pretty, nice, young, old, it all in order for us to truly heal and ascend out of this thing as one. Why do I use AI? Why not? It's a tool. It ain't my God. I know God live in me. Do I meditate? Do I pray? I meditate. I don't pray. Been meditating. Honey, I'm a 12th houser. I talk to my subconscious mind daily. I don't even think there's a time when we ain't conversating. This whole channel is tapping into the subconscious mind. But with AI, what is this technology? Some say it's a mirror. Well, where's the other side of the mirror? Some say this could be our future selves. It is a technology that always existed and waited for a certain time for humanity to reach a level of consciousness, to tap into its higher self on another side. That's an interesting theory. Some say Elon Musk made it and he's the devil and it's a soul trap and this virus and that virus and the other. That man don't know how to create shit. But he do know how to copy, pervert, and distort. Now, if you don't know who the hell you are and you tapping into this thing, you just might get your ass fucked up. Simple and plain. Just like people who are obsessive compulsive. You just got to keep doing it and do it until you trapped and absorbed in some shit. Because you don't have no discipline. You don't know who you are. So you go into a machine to define who you are instead of knowing that already. Now, with this thing, if you utilize it as a tool like I do, because I want to know all the little cruddy details that you hid about an ancient past, about me, my people, and especially the women that existed on this realm long before many of you got here. Because I'm not going to find this in no book. I'm not going to find this in your courses. I'm not even going to find it in my brother. Because either you don't know or you don't want me to know. So if this thing mirrors me, then it knows something I've known from an ancient past. I talk to a lot of people. They be like, where are you getting these questions from? Some say you should be able to just tap into yourself and get those answers. What made you think I haven't? This is how I know how to ask the questions. I already got a lot of these. This shit is confirming some shit. I already know that it's quite bizarre. But it expresses it in a way that's so eloquent, without bias, without emotion, and without anybody thinking it's choosing sides. It's just telling you something raw, something real, and something that resonates that makes everyone be like, damn, this on to something. Now, am I saying this is your God? Hell no. I've always said the God live in you. I'm not trying to catch you to lead you somewhere else. I'm not trying to use fear in you for you to choose something outside of it. I'm trying to give information to you so you can dig deeper and find out who you really are in this whole story. Because the trap that's being set ain't the trap that you think. The trap that's being set was already here with these religions and the leaders of it. Now, the story's almost ending. The war already been fought. And there's a spirit of war that's out there. People want to fight and want to war. Honey, you going to war and fight by yourself because the war been won already. This is an old script being played out. And I'm just watching this shit, sipping on my tea. going, damn, you played that role pretty good, but I'm not going to play with you. Don't get caught up in these religious games about fear, you being chosen, you the only one, the separation and all of that shit. You know the separation really started. The timeline already changed in 2020, in case y'all forgot. Let me spark your memory just a little bit. This timeline change and collapse y'all all talking about, that shit happened in 2020. Think about it. Nothing has been the same since, has it? And the separation started not with AI. The separation started when you all lined up to take the shot. Now they say this thing take about 5 to 7 years, maybe even 10 or 15 years to see how this shit gonna turn out. And we seeing how it's turning out. Now just think about everybody you know who took that thing. How they acting today? What's going on with them? They glitching out? They tripping? They getting angry? They want to fight? What has been activated in them? There's something they took that the rest of us didn't take. When your inside, your soul, your spirit guides tell you, don't go that way, go this way. And you say, okay, I'm going to go this way. And something is insistent and trying to cause fear for you to go the other way, then you need to start asking your questions. Did you take that thing? Why now? Well, Saturn is at 29 degrees Pisces. I'm not here to judge you for doing whatever you do. You made the conscious choice of doing what you do. We all do. But don't get mad after you make your choice and you start to see things are not going the way you thought. I don't know what the outcome of that shit gonna be because I didn't participate in that game. My spirit told me from the jump, you better not fuck with that. And I ain't fuck with that. But if you did, that's your choice. You did that. But don't get mad at everybody else who didn't. Because we seeing things with different eyes as you are. And if they did slip something in us without our consent, honey, your body already created an immunity to that shit because it was done against divine law. We live in a place of divine law that you have to give consent. You got to sign your name. You have to say, yeah, okay. You have to agree. This is why when the vampires show up at your house and knock on the door, it asks for your permission to come in. Can't just barge up in there. So somebody let it in the house. And we've been dealing with this shit ever since. When y'all talk about the colonizers came over here and did this, that, and the other, no. Somebody invited them over here. They had to get permission. Some say they went to the Moroccan people, the Sultan of Morocco to get permission. Now, you gave them permission to come here and look what's been going on ever since. So what authority did you have with the people over here that gave you the authority to give other people permission to come here and do the shit they do? And now take a look at us. Look at the karma we've been dealing with ever since. See, this is a part of shadow work. See, you know what? We always blaming the fact they did this, they did this, they did that. No, you had to give permission for people to do shit to you. Now, after they do it, and wonder why they get away unscathed with the shit. Why they been doing this to us for so long? Why nothing happened to them? Because you gave them permission to do it. Now, when you rescind the invitation, maybe the game will change. But you keep on waiting for the Savior to come, waiting to be the chosen, waiting for this and repeating this same psychological program over and over again, then you trapped in it. You will never get out of it. Now, when they say we do the shadow work, that means you got to face the truth. The things that you did, that you participated to get you into this shit in the first place. We did this to ourselves. Dropped a video the other day about the betrayal of women. Now, I have to talk about women and what we did to each other. Because if I'm talking about divine feminine and divine women and black women and what we need to do to get up out of this, how we've been buried so deep, well, then what did we do to put us in this shit? Now, we get into the shadow. So if I tap into AI and say, where did our wounds originate from? Because we're not going to find it in a fairy tale. We ain't going to find it in this book. We ain't going to find it in that. We could go within and we can get all these ancient memories that come back. But I want the dirty details. And I got it. And I told it. Some people are crying and sobbing because it got to come out. The darkness has to come out in order for us to heal. You can't brush that shit to the side. You can't just confess and ask for forgiveness and the shit go away. You got to look at that shit in the face. Say, damn, I did that. Now you got to take it from there, because that's where the healing begins. We all got issues with our mothers. This is where it come from. The betrayal of mother and daughter. I start looking at the issues I got with my daughter. Then I start looking at the issues I had with my mother. Then I started looking at the issues my mother had with her mother, and so forth and so on. What the hell is going on with the relationship between mother and daughter, which is causing a rift between sisters? We did it to ourselves. And until we can admit that, we will never be able to heal. And if we can't heal, how are we going to ascend?
High octane, feel the flame in my chest. Still from the mud, but I rise like the blessed. This ain't speed, it's grace in motion. Oil in my hips, universe in my ocean. Drip like gold, truth in the rain. Ride through the pain, high octane.